Hey everybody, this is Desty753 and welcome to Devlog number 6. Today's date is December 25th, 2025. Merry Christmas. As always, thanks for joining me. This devlog covers what I worked on over the past week across the Obbiverse Nexus, including system polish, visuals, thumbnails, and a lot of higher level solo developer stuff that usually doesn't get talked about much. Earlier in the week, I did some smaller but important world building work. I made new chairs and steps for the Obbiverse Nexus, cleaning up several little bugs, and made a handful of minor tweaks that just helped the space feel more finished and intentional. A big focus this week, though, was thumbnails and marketing. I spent a lot of time thinking about presentation, first impressions, and how players actually decide whether or not to click on a game. That's something solo developers and directors really have to wear on their shoulder, and I learned a lot this week just by experimenting and studying what works. The largest technical task this week was polishing the sprint system. On day 2 of the week, I reworked sprint to use control instead of shift, so players can keep shift lock enabled without losing the ability to sprint. Sprint now works cleanly across PC, console, mobile, and VR with proper input handling for each platform. I also fixed a strange issue where touchscreen laptops could sometimes be mistaken for mobile devices, which caused some weird UI behavior. Sprint intent now persists through death and cutscenes as well, so players don't have to constantly re-enable sprint after interruptions. Behind the scenes, I centralized all sprint logic into a single decision function, added humanoid state scaffolding for future mechanics like swimming or climbing, and introduced a base walk speed attribute so other systems can safely modify movement speed without fighting each other. I also removed some risky controller bindings like the X button to avoid conflicts and make sprinting feel more reliable and frustration-free. Outside of movement, I added a proper return to Nexus option for the seasonal map and fixed an issue where the return portal in the 16 stage map wasn't sending players back correctly. I also refreshed some older Obbiverse Nexus images with newer visuals to better reflect the current state of the game. I continued working on thumbnails in Blender, specifically, and while I'm still refining the style, I'm starting to feel the direction more clearly. Later in the week, I completed 2 new thumbnails that are now live in the main game page. I'm not 100% satisfied yet, but they're a definite step forward. I also finished 3 new icons after finally wrapping my head around the real difference between icons and thumbnails. Alongside that, I fixed the Candy Cane UGC item and added 3 more Candy Cane variants into the game. since day 5 landed on Christmas, the work that day was very minimal. I mostly just took the day off to rest, relax, and enjoy the moment. That is, of course, except for making this video. And that's all for this week. Merry Christmas, and to everyone who checked out the winter map, thank you. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next week in Devlog number 7.